this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest HavoCOS on this device. And this is the 20th June 2020 build. As you can see over here, the build date, the latest one as of right now. The Android version is 10, of course. On top we see the HavoCOS logo. The HavoCOS version is 3.6. The security patch is of latest to June 5th 2020. And again, the build date is here. The stock kernel is the RAD-X 4.7 kernel, and here you can see the build number. In case if you want to flash this ROM, let me show you how did I flash it. Well, I'm on the latest Orange Fox recovery version R10.1_3. If you want to flash this ROM, I'll recommend that particular recovery. I'll link it below too. You do not need to worry. You just need to flash that recovery, and then with that recovery, you flash this latest firmware, which is 11.0.3. If you are already on this firmware, you do not need to flash this firmware separately. And then you flash the HavoCOS build, which is this one. Let me show you. This is the GApps version. There is also a without GApps version. As you can see, this says HavoCOS version 3.6, 20 June 2020 for Wired or Redmi Note 5 Pro build. And this is about 1.31 GB. And the flashing is really simple. I just flashed the firmware and the ROM file and I rebooted. If you're coming from a different custom ROM, you need to wipe cache, Dalvik, system and data. These four things. You do not need to wipe vendor or something. And if you're coming from MIUI, you need to format the data once. That's it. To the left of the home screen, we do have the Google's Discover page, and swiping down gets you to the notification panel or the quick settings panel. Swiping up gets you to the app drawer, and double tapping anywhere makes the display sleep. And this is a really interesting feature. Now let me quickly show you the settings of this launcher. If I go to about, this is the shady launcher present by default here in this ROM. Let me go back inside gestures. We do have this double tap to sleep, swipe down for notifications, and swipe down to clear all stuff. And you can enable any of them. There is also this icon customization. You can use this if you want to. And then we have this grid kind of customization. Also, we have this app drawer customization, from where I disabled this app prediction so that it does not show me the suggestions and stuff. And there are more options if you want those. In the home screen section, we have some more customization like search bar, Google Feed. You can disable them if you want to. Allow home screen rotation. If you want that, you can enable that too. So that's all regarding the stock launcher. The stock camera over here is the MIUI camera present, and everything seems to be working fine. Let me go to the portrait mode and click a picture. Yes, it is stuck for a moment, I guess. Let me switch. Okay. So I think it will work, but for the first time it takes a little bit of time. This is how it looks like, too white I guess, but yeah, it should work pretty fine with the back camera and stuff. So yeah, the back camera actually is working with the normal photo mode, and inside over here in the video settings, you can shoot up to 4K 30 FPS, 1080p 30 FPS, 1080p 60 FPS and 720p 30 FPS, and that is with the back camera. And if I switch to the front camera and go into the video section, you can shoot up to 1080p 30 FPS, 720p 30 and 480 30 FPS. You do not have the option to shoot 60 FPS front camera videos, at least with the stock camera. So in my opinion, this is really good that we get the stock MIUI camera over here, and you can install Gcam separately. And inside styles and wallpapers over here, let me show you the on-device wallpaper. This is the stock wallpaper present on this ROM, and I did not change it. Let me scroll down. We do have some live wallpapers, as you are noticing here. We have, to be precise, 9 live wallpapers. You can use any of them from here. Now, talking about the quick settings panel, here is how it looks like. And if I swipe, as you can see, I have added some toggles like screen record, and the FPS info is there too. As you can see on the top left, it is showing the FPS over here. So this is really cool feature in gaming and stuff. You can see the FPS, and screen record is there. As you can see, this is a stock Android kind of screen recorder. You can customize the bitrate from here. Then audio source, you can change from internal to the microphone. And then we have the show touch screen and show stop dot and stuff. So yeah, the screen recorder should be working fine, but this is not the Oxygenus kind of screen recorder. Night light option is there, then the dark theme is there. I did check out the dark theme. It has been working totally fine too. And you can add more toggles if you want to, just like this. As you can see, there are a plethora of options for the quick setting toggles. You can see which are they. And if I scroll down, there are some more options from the apps, I guess. And you guys may ask if the banking apps are working right out of the box, and the answer is yes, it is working right out of the box. As you can see, the safety net test shows passed. So you can use Google Pay right out of the box. You do not need to flash Magisk or use Magisk Hide, just for the banking apps at least. And I have tested the IR Blaster present on the device with this LED RGB remote app, and that is working totally fine. No issues with the IR Blaster, it's working great. And here in the settings, let me go to the system. Here, one thing that is a bummer, that there is no system updater present right now on this build, and you cannot like check for updates from here. You have to go to the website, download the latest build and flash the ROMs manually whenever there is a new update. I used the manual updating process pretty much all the time, so yeah, I don't have a problem with it. But some of you guys who uses the system updater, for them that this is a bummer. And for manually updating, whenever you are like updating, just download the full ROM, you boot back to the recovery, flash the latest ROM and reboot. You do not need to wipe anything whenever you're like updating to a latest build from the same ROM. And here the stock keyboard is Gboard, so that's a good thing if you are worried about privacy and stuff. Here, let me show you the configuration center. Of course, we get a lot of customizations here. Let me show you the status bar. We have the clock settings, then the logo, brightness control, and this brightness control by adjusting, like sliding a finger on the status bar, is working totally fine. No issues. Then we have the double tap to sleep on the status bar. Of course, this is working totally fine. We also have the network speed monitor stuff over here. You can customize it as you like. There is the carrier label option. You can customize that too. And in terms of the battery icons, we have this icon portrait, circle, dotted circle, filled circle and text. No big circle over here. Then we have the battery percentage position changing option. You can change it to next to the icon or inside the icon if you want to. Then we have the battery bar. If you want this, you can enable this too, as you can see. Then we have the status bar icons. From here you can enable the headset, Bluetooth, etc. icons, the mobile data, etc. There is also the NFC icon. I don't know why it's there. There is no NFC on this device at least. And HD icon, VoLTE icon, etc. is there. Instead of VoLTE, you can use the HD icon, I guess. And I don't have a SIM card in it, but VoLTE calls and stuff should be working totally fine. There is also this Bluetooth battery stats, so that's good. Inside quick settings panel, we have the quick pull down. You can choose it to right, left, and then smart pull down is there too. Battery estimates is there. So inside this like header, it shows this until how much or how long the battery will last from now on. And then we have the background opacity and background blur is there if you want to use that. And column and row number customization for the quick setting panel is there. Haptic feedback when you tap the quick toggles are there. If you want that, you can enable this option. And then auto brightness and settings icon, etc. is there. Let me go back to the lock screen. Here we have the double tap to sleep, media artwork visualizer, the music visualizer, I mean, pocket detection is there. Then authentication, vibration and stuff is there. But there is no always unlock with the fingerprint scanner, which is a bummer for me. I would have loved that feature in this ROM. And here we also have the charging info, so it shows the charging info in the lock screen whenever you are charging the device, so that's cool. Let me go back to the ambient display. Here we have the battery level, and also we have the always on display. If you want that for some reason, that thing is there. In the buttons we have the navigation bar, system gestures are there, and here we have the Android 10 gestures. Inside settings you can like have this bar to like long, and with this feature you can have the pill bar to a long kind of look over here. Let me go back. We have the 2 and 3 button navigation, and inside power menu we have the advanced reboot option. As you can see, it is there normally, and you can also enable it for the lock screen itself. And let me show you. If I tap and hold the power button, there is the advanced reboot option, and you can right now directly reboot to recovery and fast boot from here. Then screen off power button torch is there, and you can set it to long press to toggle torch, and that should be working totally fine. We have the swap volume keys, playback control and stuff. Then answer call is there, and then arrow animation and stuff is there, and you can choose it to be like any action. Let me set it to screenshot. So long right swipe over here. Okay, I set it to right. Let me do this. And as you can see, it captures a screenshot, and this is the long kind of screenshot like Oxygen OS. You can edit them if you want to. You can take that long screenshot, you can share them right away, or you can delete them from here. Inside gestures, we of course have this swipe right screenshot again, and this is the same thing. It will work totally fine. Inside notifications, we have the charging LED, notification LED, blink flashlight for incoming call, and then edge lighting option is there. You can also change the color and stuff from here, I guess. Like I can choose it to custom. and then I can change the edge lighting color from here. So this is cool. Then we have the heads up disabling option, force close notification, key lap button, and the noisy notification option is there. Inside battery saving, we have some smart pixels, suspend action, and then sensor block per package option. Then we have the screen option. It takes a little bit of time to go into this, and you can adjust the framework values and stuff and have the status bar padding so that these icons becomes a little bit comfortable to your eyes. You can adjust that as you like. Inside animations, we have these kind of like whole UI animation, quick setting animation like flip and rotate are there too. Then inside MISC, we have the screenshot type. You can change it to full or partial if you want that. Charging animation is there too. This is the, like whenever you're plugging in, it does that pixel kind of animation. Looks cool, I would say. Adaptive playback and stuff is there. Wake device, you can disable that from here. Also, we have the gaming mode option. You can customize the gaming mode as you like, I guess. Here in the battery settings, this is how it looks like. It shows the battery temperature on the bottom and screen on time is there. And if you tap over here, you can check the full usage. I would say the battery life should be pretty good. You can get about 6+ hours of screen on time if your battery's health is good. Also, we have the smart charging here too, and adaptive battery is there. And then the battery saver is there too. You can use that. Inside display settings, we have the auto brightness, then night light and the dark theme. You can schedule that, and styles and wallpaper section is there again. Let me scroll down. We have the double tap to wake, and the double tap to wake actually does work. Let me show you from here. As you can see, the double tap to wake actually works, but while double tapping, I have seen this, like it shows the quarter of the wallpaper. As you can see, the wallpaper comes quarter of the screen, as you can see again. So yeah, this bug is there. Now, in terms of the accent colors over here, you can get accent colors from only this styles and wallpaper section, I guess. And from here, you have to click on this custom theme, and you can create a custom theme. And from here, you can change or choose the accent color, and then hit next, and then create a theme with these colors, and that will give you the accent color as you choose from here. I would have liked a different kind of panel for the accent colors, but yeah, this is good that it is there. And from the clocks, we have these kind of clock kind of customization, and you can choose it to whichever you like from here. Inside sound settings, we have the Mi Audio Direct, and as you can see, I have the youth edition set, and the sound output via the headphone jack and the Bluetooth as well is really good. I have no issues in terms of the sound profile in this ROM. Sound quality is good enough. And you can also choose the preset to rock, jazz, etc. if you want it from here, from this Mi Audio Direct. And touch vibration, screenshot sound, you can disable them from here. And there is also this vibrate and haptic feedback. You can have these in-call vibrations, and then you can like change the ringtone vibration pattern, so that's cool too. Now let me show you the fingerprint scanner speed. Unlocked. Let's try it again. Let's try with the right hand's index finger. Unlocked. And unlocked again. Let's try again, and it unlocked. So yeah, the fingerprint scanner is pretty good, no issues. And inside security, we do have this face unlock option. Let me show you by setting it up. Now let's try the face unlock. I'll just double tap on the screen and double tap to wake again, and as you can see, the face unlock is really fast. Okay, so it unlocked right away. Let's do it again. So yeah, as you can see, the face unlock is very accurate. I have no issues with the face unlocking speed. It unlocks the phone almost right away whenever it detects my face. Now let me open some of the apps and show you guys the app open up speeds and the RAM management. Here we have Chrome. Now let's open YouTube. So I'm sorry because of the dogs in the background. Here, let me go to the files, Facebook, Twitter, this recorder app. Let me show you in the meantime. As you can see, the recorder app actually works, and it transcribes the audio whatever I say. As you can see, it works flawlessly. So yeah, pretty cool feature, I would say. And we also have this YouTube Music and Play Store. Okay, I opened the YouTube Music again somehow. Now let's open the SafetyNet app, LED RGB remote app. Now let's open all the apps from memory again. So yeah, as you can see, all the apps are staying in memory, and the recorder is actually recording still over here, as you are noticing. So pretty cool, I would say. The RAM management is really good over here. I have no complaints regarding the RAM management or the app opening up speeds over here. Even though this is an old device, it is holding up really well, and it also has the recorder app running over here. As you can see, it keeps like transcript in the audio whatever I say. So pretty cool in my opinion. The RAM management and the app opening up speeds should be pretty good over here. I have no issues or complaints over here with the RAM management on this ROM at least. The gaming performance should be pretty good, and here is the Antutu and Geekbench score on this ROM. Thank you so much for watching this video guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel and if you have not yet. This is Tito from KTN Tech signing off for today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.